Mike the Hobbit here,
Lowdown Brown,
inviting you to check out Geeks Under the Influence, a podcast that pairs booze with conversation with good friends.
and a little nerd culture.
We get a lot of colorful conversation out of our episodes, but it is here for everyone, no gatekeeping.
Always level up everything we do.
We'll punch up, never punch down.
Exactly.
So check out Geeks Under the Influence anywhere you get your podcasts and join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit. Welcome to GUI Nights.
GUI Nights.
Yeah, I am Lowdown Brown. With me as always,
Mike the Hobbit.
this is the tangential side of GUI.
This is like so many of those other shows that has the after the show bit mixed with a little bit of Baywatch night, so it's a little sexier. It's a little bit after hours.
Also while tying it into the previous episode of GUI. So look forward to that too, because this comes out the week after the flagship hour-long episode.
So make sure to check out GUI Nights, and when you're done, you can...
Go the fuck home.
The views and opinions expressed on Beautiful Disasters are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, their sponsors, or anyone else involved. Also, there is going to be a lot of adult language used on this podcast, so please keep your little kitties away unless you don't care about them that much.
Welcome back to Beautiful Disasters. This is our first full episode of 2022.
Bam.
We had a little bit of a late start. We had a little hiccups. We're going to get into that in a minute. I also started a new job, so it's been a complicated
a lot of shit.
beginning
Yeah.
of the year. But we got a great fucking show tonight. Let's get into the panel here. I'm the Grutz,
F.U. Hunter.
and our guest tonight is
Hey, I'm Nick.
Nick. Nick has been on the GUI flagship podcast several times.
Yep.
Always fun episodes. So we're happy to have you this time.
I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
So I think we tried to do this a few weeks ago, and then
We did, yeah. I
a couple COVID
Couple of
close
setbacks.
contact shit, and then my body decided to start fucking up, and I was out for like a week. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been complicated. Life, the universe, and everything got in the way of this episode, but we're finally getting to it.
Bam. Yeah. Only 3.5 weeks late. There you go.
No problem.
Luckily, the movie we're covering was on Shudder and has stayed on Shudder. So
And this again is a recent film,
yes.
2021 release. This is Prisoners of the Ghostland.
What number is this for us with Nick Cage movies? Seriously.
I don't know. It's just becoming a thing.
I know, like every year, all right, we'll at least do one or two. I mean, but motherfucker keeps knocking shit out that we have to cover his movies. I mean, come
Right?
on.
Yeah. No, we've done at least 2 of his. Right?
Fuck, more than that.
Willy's Wonderland,
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad.
Is there not really another one in between
We
that?
didn't do Mandy or Color Out of Space, but we have referenced them both in episodes.
Okay. Damn, I thought we had done something else of his, but no, I guess you're right.
No, those are the 2.
All right. Well, shit. I guess I'm trying to think of who we've had the most of then, because if it's not Nick Cage, who the fuck is it?
Oh, I don't know now.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. However, I will say that this particular movie definitely lives up to the theme of our podcast, which,
Jesus Christ.
for anyone who's just joining us, is Beautiful Disasters. We cover the movies that maybe you haven't heard of as much, the weird movies, the cult movies, the B-side of cinema, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And we have fun time with it.
This definitely fits that, like, what the fuck is going on in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
This is straight down that alley.
It sure is. And I couldn't have been fucking happier with this movie.
I made it through about halfway through this movie. I always said, yeah, this is a fucking Grutz movie. Because
Oh, yeah.
there's certain movies you go, what the fuck is going on? And I go, yeah, Grutz is like, yes, I love this fucking random ass shit that keeps going on. And this movie's fucking random as a fuck.
Oh,
like,
it definitely is. I think it's like a creative like bukkake.
yeah.
All right. So it's basically like they had the director had all these ideas. The writers had all these ideas, and they just threw everything at the fucking wall.
I want to say this movie started like a Terry Gilliam movie. Like it feels like a Terry Gilliam movie. And then the director's like, no. Not enough weirdness. All right. I want to take that element and also have, I don't know, cowboys and samurais and
in a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
yeah, with people with weird electronic voices and some like it's just all a mashup of a bunch of crazy ass shit.
So much of this came across like, you know what? I don't know when we're going to get funding again. Let's do it all.
Right. Yeah.
Like there was like 3 movies that said, well, we can't do all 3. Let's make it one. All
Someone
right.
went bullshit.
They fucking spent money on this, though. They legit did. You know, like, they built giant-ass sets. That fucking wasteland town with the fucking clock, they built that shit. That was huge. That wasn't CGI.
I think one of the things that piqued my curiosity is Nick Cage literally came out after the movie, before the movie was being released, and said that this was by far the craziest movie he can think of he's been in. And that's coming from fucking Nick Cage. So you're like, what the fuck are we going into? And no, he's right.
No,
he's right.
That says a lot, but
Yeah.
It really does. So let's talk about a couple of the key players here. The director is Sion Sono, who I've seen a couple of his movies. He did The Suicide Club, Why Don't You Play in Hell, and Tokyo Vampire Hotel, the series and the movie. But there's a movie that I'm hoping one day we will cover of his called Tokyo Tribe. So he's not as prolific as like Takashi Miike, but he definitely has a weird ass fucking like style.
Yeah.
And I will say this movie was fucking gorgeous to look at.
Oh, yeah, no.
The cinematography, the fucking art direction, the sets, like everything about it was just
It was
fucking
a
beautiful.
it was a beautiful, weird fucking movie. Yeah.
I'll definitely agree with you there. Like the visuals were absolutely the highlight of this movie.
Yeah. Holy shit. So, of course, our protagonist is played by Nicolas Cage. And in the credits, his name is only Hero. He is never actually given a name.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious because I was like, I can't recall his name except for the little kid that runs out and says, Hero, Hero. I guess that was it.
It was the same thing with Willy's Wonderland. Like, they never actually gave him a name. He was just the guy.
The guy, yeah.
The man or whatever it was. And a couple other recognizable names. We had Sophia Boutella, who was the female lead. She was in The Kingsman, Hotel Artemis, and Atomic Blonde. Like,
I think Kingsman is the main one people will go. The chick with the stilt legs.
right. She was also in that shit version of The Mummy.
Yeah, let's just say it's Kingsman.
Okay, yeah. But, yeah, so she was the female protagonist. We have our couple villains. We had Bill Mosley. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the main villain, yeah.
From the Rob Zombie trilogy. Texas Chainsaw 2. A lot of other genre shit.
Yeah, I was going to say. I
think we've seen him.
that's pretty
we've
much.
seen him at like 5,
You say
10
Rob
cons.
Zombie, and that kind of covers him, all right?
I mean, he's kind of typecast into a certain genre, so
Yeah.
it's...
Wait, does he have a beard in this one? Yeah, oh yeah, okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does.
no shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually
Does he
fucked-
shave anymore? I don't know.
It actually fucked me up because in Texas Chainsaw 3D that came out like 2013, he's in the opening sequence, but he's like no beard. I was like, who? I know that is that motherfucker, but is he allowed to not have a beard in this movie?
He looks weird without it.
Yeah.
And then the accomplice, we'll get into the accomplice, Nicolas Cage's like psycho companion.
Psycho.
In his prior bank robbery days, played by Nick Cassavetes.
Oh, back after a face-off shit, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Director of The Notebook. Like,
What?
yeah.
He was the director
Seriously?
of The Notebook?
Yeah. He's directed a bunch of movies, a lot of chick flicks, surprisingly, including the fucking Notebook.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's saddening.
I know.
Because his dad is John Cassavetes, and that motherfucker was awesome.
His first movie was She's So Lovely, that like had John Travolta and
Oh, okay.
somebody, goddamn it, Sean Penn, which, you know, isn't really a chick flick, but then it's like Notebook and like a bunch. You're like, what are you doing, man?
Well, I
Because
didn't-
every role he plays, usually he's like some like badass motherfucker,
Right.
But he's like, I like to direct chick flicks. I don't know.
Now, you think he's doing
Hey.
the chick flicks for money, or you think he's just doing those for fun and
I
then
don't
doing
know.
this for the favors?
It could be one or the other. He, you know, he's like, yeah, I like to play the badass, but I'm.
Well, he is a
I
big
like-
motherfucker.
I'm soft
But I have
inside.
feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
And they
But I got the
definitely
feelings.
made him look like a goddamn monster in this.
Oh yeah.
Even before he had the makeup, like he just.
Oh, that opening sequence with the bank robbery. I mean,
Yeah,
he,
dude, I
he
was like,
looks-
is that the guy from Rammstein? Who the fuck is that guy?
he looked fucking like
I
yeah.
didn't even recognize him. All right, so that's basically most of our cast, and we had a fucking badass. What was his name? Character's name was Yasujiro. I didn't write down the fucking actor's name like an asshole.
Was that like the main samurai?
he was like the
Yeah.
main henchman
Yeah.
for the governor. He was fucking
The executioner samurai.
He looked severe as fuck, and he had some skills with the blade, man.
What I like about him though is that he was a badass motherfucker, but he always had that face of like feeling sorry for the person he was about to fucking murder the shit out of. You know that face. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but you shouldn't have fucked with me. I'm gonna kill you so fast.
But like that approach was hinted on when like his sister was talking to him
Yeah.
in the movie of just like her being behind the cage and yelling at him, be like, "I know you only took this job because you're trying to save me, but you realize that he's never gonna let you go,
Yeah.
so you should walk away from this." And you just saw him getting like such a sad.
But even before that, like you know how you have those henchmen, they're like, oh, I want to kill the fuck out of. He's like, all right, who I gotta kill? All right, these guys, okay. Like it always just seemed like he was like clock it in, and then like, all right, well, come at me and I'll cut you in the fucking
Like,
face.
he did a great job at portraying like you're not the 7th person I've killed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, he definitely had the highest body count of anybody in this movie.
And he never
Legit.
reacted. He never had that "you want to fuck with me" face. It's just like, all right, cool.
True,
All
true.
right. Another day, another day of the job.
All right, so I think the only way we're gonna get through this plot is if I
Yeah, you
As if we
explain
drop
it.
acid.
I'm just gonna kind of rattle off. I took a lot of notes, but I'm gonna
I can
rattle off
see that.
a thing
Holy
here, a
shit.
thing here. Anytime you wanna make a statement about what the fuck is going on,
All right.
this is probably not gonna make a whole lot of sense because the movie is bananas.
What's about to happen for the next 30 minutes is probably going to sound like the ramblings of a crazy person that we had some weird fever dream and we decided to tell you about it. That's the movie. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to say this. I've already told both of y'all this, but like the first time I watched this movie, I fucked up, and I watched it without subtitles. So anytime that there wasn't anything in English, it kind of left it up to my perception because I don't understand Japanese and I don't understand the slurring that they were just doing specifically for the movie. And it was kind of like I could make enough connections and it was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. I watched it again with subtitles. That was a mistake.
You became more confused.
I got more confused
Yeah.
after I watched it all the way through one time, not understanding half of what was being said. And then when I found out what they were saying, it made less sense.
Yep.
That is bananas. I might actually turn off subtitles if I watch it on my DVD copy next time, just to see what kind of weird experience that is.
And just try to forget everything else, and then then you can just pick up on the like voice inflections
Yeah.
and the physical responses of when people are talking and be like,
holy shit, that's fucking hilarious. But I can see how that would happen. That's bananas.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The movie opens with a fucking beautiful, like weird blue toned city. They walk into what looks like a saloon / bank.
Yeah.
There are
It's a very festive bank, is the best way I
very
can put
festive.
it.
It's blue walls. Everything's so colorful. Everyone's in weird colored suits.
I noticed that there's a person wearing all green,
Everything's
a person all
clean.
red.
it's the only place in the city where everyone's dressed like that too, and it's the only business.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
It's so
Yeah.
out of place.
Like it works because that bank interior is white. So everybody's clothes are like fucking spot on.
Yeah,
like,
it's immaculate. And there's one amenity in the bank, which is a gigantic aquarium of gumballs.
yeah, like a giant gumball machine, like that huge, and it's like, what bank has fucking like come in, cash a check, get a gumball? I don't know.
Get a cup of gumballs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
guess
we
they have a lot of kids come in. I have no idea.
I will say my 6-year-old walked past during that part, and I was like, "Nope,
Yeah.
you're going this way." She's like, but I want to see the candies.
Like,
I'm like,
no, I don't know. I don't know enough of this movie.
we don't know what's about to happen. A duo rolls into this bank to rob it. We have Nicolas Cage and his psycho accomplice.
Literally named
Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they roll in. They're robbing the bank. Shit goes a little sideways. A kid is offering Psycho a cup of gumballs.
Kid does not pick up on social cues. Dude's holding a gun, yelling at everybody in the bank. He goes, he seems like someone might like bubblegum. I don't like, hey kid, early life lesson.
Exactly.
Don't approach the dude with the guns yelling at people. He probably doesn't want bubblegum. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
So we realize later that this is a piece of a flashback. And then we have...
Did we, though?
Kind of.
Yeah, I believe Grutz did.
Yes. So then we are transferred to a red town. Beautifully red, where there, it looks like a Western town, but there's Japanese, like...
Sort of. It's Western at first. It looks like... All right, it looks like a traditional Japanese town, like a small like town, except up to a point, everybody's in Western gear, and you're like, okay. But then also people are in samurai gear, right?
Yes.
And it's actually referred to as Samurai Town. There's like signs up that say Samurai Town.
Right.
It's like,
but until the first scenes is everybody in town's looking like cowboys, and then it cuts back and they're samurais. You're like, okay. And then we're gonna get to
Well, we find out that there's also cowboys in Samurai Town.
right. Well,
but obviously,
who runs Samurai Town?
Well, before we get there,
all right.
This is like the backstory that's going to make sense in 10 minutes. Where
that's your opinion.
We see our female protagonist, Sophia.
Oh yeah,
or Bernice.
Yeah.
So she's hanging out with some folks, and they end up like running out of town.
Yeah, it's like her and 3 other girls.
Yeah.
Which, all right, this is where I got confused. Are they captive, or are they just on display and they were like, let's get the fuck out of Dodge?
So that's kind of, I wasn't really sure.
Oh, God. Well, if you
what
don't
was
know,
happening.
then there's no
I
answer,
didn't know
right?
if they were like, all right, let's get the fuck out of Dodge or what. But
it looks like girls' night, but also girls' night, maybe we'll find a better option
get the fuck out
than
of
where
Dodge.
we are.
So my mind went down like such a different like rabbit hole on that like I'll save that for later towards when we get towards the end.
Right. The context comes a lot later when you're just like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that like this is one of the parts of the movies that almost made sense.
And what's hilarious is that in the middle of the movie when we're experiencing like the weird town situation, there's so much fucking exposition that's being fed you, so you understand what people are doing. There's nothing in the beginning, so it's a weird opening. So we go from like United Colors of the Benetton Bank town to like Red Town where girl leaves, etc. And then fucking Christ, all the beautiful art direction. And then we cut to Nicolas Cage getting released from prison. Like he was in shackles, and he's like, looking his age and everything, and he's getting released.
Is he looking his age?
Well, I mean,
he's because I mean, like,
he's not looking his age.
Nick
he hadn't
Cage
aged
in the
a bit.
robbery, Nick Cage released from prison, looks exactly the same.
And that like 16, 18 years was supposed to be going by
Yeah.
in that frame. It's like, dude, your beard didn't grow.
Well, no, it grew. The black dye that he put in the beard was consistent, all right? Samurai Town has a lot of black dye for that beard, all right?
Well, you know what? Hey, jails have different amenities in different places.
Yeah.
So I guess
I'm just
fashion.
saying, sometimes you get flashback and then current time.
Yeah.
And there's a little difference. Flashback Nick Cage, current Nick Cage, doesn't look any different.
So he gets released from prison in like a sumo diaper. Or whatever.
If that.
So he's walking out, he's led out into the town. And there's like giggling geisha girls that are just like, let me see your balls.
Did they put them out there specifically? Like, is that a routine? Like, release the prisoner. All right, girls, now you know what to do. Because it's almost like they were prepped to start giggling at him as soon as he comes out.
Like it was so set up as just like a display thing. Like you get such the vibe that like any other crimes that were committed were just like death. You're done.
Yeah.
Out. But
Right.
they like your balls.
We like entertainment, yeah.
So obviously the public is not happy that this monster who robbed a bank and made some deaths happen or whatever is getting released. They're not happy about it. They're making fun of him and shit like that. But he gets up, taken into town square, and then who rolls up?
Yeah.
The motherfucking governor.
But just to throw everything else out of whack, as we've explained this town with cowboys and samurais, and of course, then you got the governor who's fucking Bill Mosley. That fits nothing else in this town at all. But you're like, all right, cool. He's the guy in charge. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, the weird white guy running the Japanese.
Not even just a weird
Yeah,
guy, because
like-
he very much pulls in that character from like Devil's Rejects,
Yes,
where
he
he's
does.
very like, "Are you gonna fuck with me?" Like that kind of shit.
Oh, he's got
Just
great
the
lines.
aggressive
yeah, the
Otis
aggressive,
of like
and
kid, just a
and-
controlling narcissistic.
and somehow you're like, yeah, this makes sense. All right.
So yes, fucking.
We're making him lose his place.
He has the best goddamn lines. All right, so basically, he starts into his tirade where he's like, basically telling Cage that his adopted granddaughter Bernice has gone missing and needs fucking retrieval from the Ghostland, which is the land outside of town.
Yeah.
Right.
I would almost feel like almost a la like Judge Dredd, kind of like,
Yeah, it's just-
outside the city limits is the wasteland that you just don't really want
Right.
to fucking go to.
So he basically there's a deal. He fits Cage with a leather suit that has weird contraptions we'll get to in just a second, but he basically says that you have a few days to rescue her or else. And then once he clicks the fucking like suit together,
Puts the key in.
puts the key in, and like fucking he's got these glowing orbs that are like fucking little mini bombs.
Yeah.
He's got them on his neck, on his arms.
They
on
look
his-
like fancy soaps.
yes,
Yeah.
and he's got 2 on his balls.
Yeah. It's placed like 2 neck, arms, legs, balls, like, and
Both balls.
literally one ball, one glowing on the one ball, one glowing on the other ball.
So the basic gist is that he has 3 days to find her, and find her unscathed. She has to use her voice print into this
Giant contraption. Yeah.
contraption in his arm like a pit boy.
It's funny because like you
know,
the little
like some fucking like
It
shitty
exactly
pit boy.
looked like some.
yeah, because literally like the suit looks somewhat modern. We don't know the time period, but
Right.
and everything looks modern until you get to this giant fucking walkie-talkie contraption on his arm that is fucking just giant as shit. And you're like, looks like a
It looked like a steampunk iPhone.
yeah, exactly. And you're like,
exactly.
everything else is like miniature sized, and then this giant fucking thing that you like press the red button, like it looks like it has toggle switches and shit on it. All right.
So we're getting a lot of explanation here. So he's got 3 days to find her, unscathed. She uses her voice to activate 2 other days that he has to bring her back. But in the meantime, if he gets frisky or if shit gets out of hand, some of these fucking like
Bomb
little
things.
mini bombs are going to go off. And if he fails, the ones on his neck are going to go and pop his head.
Now, what is it if he gets aggressive or angry? If he
it
gets
was-
horny, what's the fuck?
It-
Like,
it
there's so
was-
many rules. Like, just go, save her. Don't
Yeah.
be angry while you're doing it. Don't try to fuck anybody while you're doing it. Just get her to say her name and this thing. And as long as you do that, you won't die.
Right, exactly. And we're
I don't understand
introduced-
why he can't just be like, why he can't have a hard on? Like, god damn, dude, this is restrictive as shit.
Well, no, they flat out said that there was a sensor that detected if he was allowing emotional aggression towards women. That would detonate
Yes.
one of the bombs. It was like,
Yeah.
are you fucking kidding me? What the?
No, by the way, we should also say nothing on his head or a chip in there, just the suit nose.
No, it's a leather bodysuit.
Yeah.
Like
but it
looks.
just knows.
No, it just knows.
It just knows.
It's just there.
It wasn't like we injected you with a chip that communicate. No.
No,
Nothing
just-
knows what the brain's doing. Just the suit will fucking know.
It
Just
will know.
the leather can smell your aggression boner.
Yeah. Oh, did we mention every once in a while that Bill Mosley's governor does come through the speaker on his set? So just to
true.
remind him of time and countdowns,
That's right.
reminders, like you're gonna fucking have your head explode.
Right? Like they couldn't just put a normal alarm clock on it. Just had to be like, buddy, you got this much time.
Like, he
So, you
records-
spent this much time recording this and programming it in.
You think it would be like a voice just like, you have 1 day and 10 minutes till, but it's just like, hey, hey motherfucker, you better hurry up.
Time remaining, 53 minutes. Hey, man.
Hey, bitch, you better hurry.
God damn it. So we get a brief little fucking
Motherfucker, you better pick up the pace, God damn it.
fucking
Where's my granddaughter?
we got a brief little altercation here in the town where like some of the deputies are kind of they're not happy with him being released for this task.
Well, we
I
haven't
guess.
had that is Nick Cage still badass moment. Because, he's been in prison. So
Right.
you have to have let's see if he can still hold up his own. Like, he's got the suit on.
which
but,
he does. There's a little fight scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He
He
gets
kinda
into it
shows
a
his
little
skills.
bit.
The prison for this was also like the crawl space underneath the porch of the sheriff's office.
Something, yeah. And then also we get to see like the first badassery from Tag Sakaguchi is the actor who plays Yasujiro. There we go. All right, I got it.
Badass motherfucker. I'm just going to call him badass motherfucker.
He's
right?
the badass
Bam.
motherfucker, and he fucking just like kills a bunch of dudes because
He's just because.
the idea is that he is like the right hand to the governor. So this dude that's being released his purpose is to rescue this adopted granddaughter Bernice. So he's not going to let these dudes kill him. But the whole idea is just to show that he's a badass.
Yeah, I was going to say. Because they start attacking Nick Cage, and Nick Cage is holding up, but then he starts to get outnumbered. And you know when a motherfucker's badass because he just stands there, and then he eventually like kind of looks like, you want me to do my shit? And then puts the hand on the blade and pulls it out. That's the motherfuckers you got to watch out for. The guys that just run into shit,
Oh, yeah.
fucking rookie ass motherfucker.
No.
The dude that stands there and goes, it's the time, and then pulls the blade out.
You need me
Those
now?
are the guys you got to watch out for.
All right. Is it my turn yet?
Exactly.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. Let's fuck some shit up.
Yeah. You 7, you're dead.
Yeah.
And he does that multiple times.
I feel like he kills more of his own people through the movie than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Lessons got to be taught over and over again.
And we'll get into other stuff later because I feel
All right. So everything is
getting
set
off
up.
track.
Yeah.
All right, everything's set up.
So they
The
give him a car.
The
They give him
car
a
is
car.
there. All right.
And
here we
he's
go.
like-
This is where this movie goes. Fuck you if you think you know what's gonna happen.
Right. Everything up until this point kind of still made sense.
Yeah.
So he's like, take the car. It's a fucking Toyota Celica, like an old one. And he drives it like 8 feet, gets out, and grabs a bicycle and starts driving away. And the governor's mad. He's like, well, he's not going to be able to succeed.
He got in the thing, floored it to the other end of the block, power slid until he got closer to the fucking basket 1 speed.
Yeah. Literally a little girl's bike. It looks like because it's Nick Cage, and that bike is not a full size bike.
No, it's like a 3/4. Like there's a full like
And he's
basket,
just
girl's bike,
riding
and
off, and the governor's like, "Are you you're gonna fucking fail, dude? What are you doing?" And Nick Cage is just like, "Fuck you. This is what I'm doing here."
If you want to explode my head, okay.
Yeah.
But he makes his right hand,
got a
samurai
bicycle.
dude, catch up with him in the car, be like, you need to take the fucking car.
Yeah. Dude,
like,
there's
okay.
you've got a countdown happening. The little girl bike is not going to make it in the wasteland. All right.
All right, I got to
Even
interject
though
there
I
too
kind of
because
wanted that to continue. All
I
right.
know, but at the same time, like watching that, I thought at every time that he took another step with it, I thought he was going to crash on that thing, and I don't think he was acting. I think it was actually just such a small bike that he was having trouble riding
yeah.
the thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He almost bailed on that thing like 9 times.
So eventually he gets convinced by the right-hand man.
So he gets
I guess
back in
I'll
the
drive
car. Okay,
Which
yeah.
is then awesome because he speeds off and then the right-hand man, and I guess they're like a mile back from the town, and he just looks at the bike like, really? I got to ride this fucking bike back to the town?
Yeah, so then he's got to ride the little
Yeah.
girl bike back in a kimono and just like, don't
He's
let
like,
it get in the chains.
I was just a badass like fucking 5 minutes ago. Now I'm riding this fucking bike
Oh,
back.
Jesus. Speaking of crashes, so he's riding in.
Good segue.
He sees a weird ass fucking like sign that says like danger area 244 whatever the fuck.
You mean the one that just keeps spinning so you have no idea
Yes.
where the danger
You know,
is?
he's driving the
like, don't go
Celica.
this way, I think.
He's driving the Celica like a boss, and then he rolls up on a fucking weird ass. Like suddenly there's just a crew in front of him.
It looked like ghost samurais is the best way I could put it, because they just appear out of nowhere.
It looked like a samurai chain gang.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like samurais, and then there's a bunch of dudes in stripes.
Yeah.
And then there's a bus with a guy that looks like Freddy Krueger in it. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
But that's about, and then
he just guns it in their direction, and then
they bright light him.
And then suddenly the car is up on a hill.
This is my first indication of, I know I'm watching this movie, and I didn't pause or blink, but I don't know what the fuck happened. Because literally he's like, all right, full speed ahead, and then they turn the bright light on, and the next shot is just the car on its kind of side, and he's coming out, like he's like on the ground outside of it. I'm like, did I miss a scene? What the fuck happened?
We have a dream sequence back in the blue town, where he's seeing some flashes, and he sees images of the kid.
That's right.
That was from the bank robbery.
Every once in a while, when he gets knocked out, he goes back to this
he
situation.
does.
Yeah,
He gets knocked out a lot.
A lot.
yeah.
And then he also sees, like, he's like walking by like a mountain ravine pass, and he looks up, and there's like some weird ass statue people. And then he fucking wakes up on the back of a cart that's being dragged by some wasteland peasants.
Wasteland peasants. And then we get a weird
That apparently have a huge access to toilet paper.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And we have weird ass characters.
This is where we get introduced to Ratman, which Ratman, but seems to almost have more what I would say is feathers and shit like that, but it has a electronic voice, and he just is asking, this berating fucking Nick Cage with the weird robot voice.
There's that. There's the fucking weird ass scavenger dudes that have all the metalwork on them.
Yeah, and then you get the mannequins.
Oh,
and at first he's going through, and there's a mannequin. You're like, oh, you know what? This actually makes sense. You see a lot of post-apocalyptic movies, and they go, you know what? We got mannequins around. Let's just. But then you start seeing mannequins that look like people,
and they're moving.
Yeah,
the mannequin people freaked me the fuck out. I was like, what the fuck?
That was pretty fucking creepy and cool. So.
Like I was good with it, especially with the first one. That like then the head turns, like wasn't expecting that. All right, now we're actually getting a little bit into the
mannequin people in weird Nuketown.
This is the part of the movie where you go, I know I didn't take acid, but it feels like it's kicking in right about now, because shit gets pretty fucking bonkers, man.
It gets big in scale, because he finally gets dragged into this giant town square. And there's all the fucking like weird toilet paper mummy people. And there's a fucking preacher in a box. And there's a fucking giant clock tower.
Now, this is what I'm saying with
What
the acid
the
part.
fuck?
Because you'll notice there's this giant clock, and these dudes have the hand of the clock on a rope, and they're holding it, and they're struggling.
It's like tug of war.
And they're going, we're holding time. And you're like, what? What? Okay.
So this is one of the things that watching it the first time without actually having the subtitles made more sense. I thought they needed that metal for something.
Yeah,
they're
trying to pull it off.
He's like, my bladesmithing ass is like, I could make some shit out of that, and you're trying to get it off of the thing. Find out later, like, no, they're trying to hold it in place. Like, motherfuckers, that's what anchors are for.
Yeah.
All you had to do is tie it in place.
Like,
you didn't have to have someone 24/7 like trying to pull it back.
Shifts of holding this fucking tug of war with this giant fucking clock.
It's like it's already on a rope. Just tie it to something.
There was lots of big shit.
Yeah.
They're fucking. All right, we'll get to the pimped out fucking carnival trucks later.
But let's get to the leader. Let's get to the leader of this whole thing, because everybody's got toilet paper or covered in just weird shit.
Random plastic bags blowing by like the
crustiest library motherfucker comes out, and he's the fucking leader. He's like, hello there. And you're like, wait, what?
His name is Enoch.
Yeah, Enoch. But this white dude with glasses that like is like, I lead these people. And you're like, how? You're just like this basic motherfucker.
Well, this is the weird part of this movie, because this is really some kind of crazy.
I guess because he can read. I don't know.
This is a crazy person's like nightmare dream, like you said, fever dream.
Yeah,
where like all the major characters are like Western actors.
Yeah,
for some reason.
And meanwhile, everyone else is just doing like synchronized like interpretive dance,
and then just making weird sounds out of nowhere. Like there's just shit going on. You're like, what? Like the kid that's the long haired kid that's part of the rat squad that just will just look and just scream for no reason
And just run.
react and just run, and then scream, point, and run. That's his job in this gang. Like your job is you see something, you scream, and you run. Okay.
By
Yes.
the way, that motherfucker turned into the Flash.
Yeah, he's the fastest fucking kid ever. so.
Goddamn right.
Okay,
So
where are we
Cage
again?
is waking up on the fucking cart, and he's like everybody's touching him and looking over him, and he starts to freak the fuck out. Enoch, this preacher dude, comes out, and Cage starts to like defend himself. He's like, oh, I'll fucking karate chop you.
And he literally says, karate chop. You are not ad-libbing. He literally used the term, I will karate chop
I will
you.
karate chop you was not a
Yes.
paraphrase.
Yeah, he said, he's like, he's doing moves, and he's like, hi, fucking yeah, motherfucker. You know, it's like,
Is there
holy
any
shit.
chance some of this movie might have been ad-libbed? Or did, like, is it in the script, I'm going to karate chop you? Or is it like, Nick, just say what you want. Just say what you want.
You know how much I wish and hope that on the original script, hi fucking ya was in there?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be
Karate chop,
amazing.
motherfucker.
Hi-ya.
Yes, we wrote this for you, Nick.
So yes, so he explains his purpose there. It's like I'm not staying. I don't give a shit about your fucking prophecy where we can't leave. I need to find this girl, and then I'm getting the fuck out because I don't have the time. And then he literally walks down a line of mannequins and finds her
Well, no,
immediately.
he says, has anybody seen this chick? And he has a photo. And like,
and people
No,
fucking
no.
start raising
and
their
people start
hands.
raising their hand going, oh, yeah. And they go, and they're like, she's with the mannequins. And so Nick Cage goes through mannequin after mannequin, taking tops off. And the dude that designs the mannequins, if you could help me with this, starts getting
Dresses them?
Yeah,
Or-
gets really upset because he's like, you're fucking up my mannequins. And Nick Cage is like, fuck off. I'm trying to find this chick.
Yeah, he's some weird fetish goth dude.
But I guess if you're, if you put the mannequin shit on, then you
So yeah,
just become a mannequin. You don't actually
and you lose the ability to speak or move on your own.
like. Is there drugs? Like,
so
this is the part where
yeah, exactly.
that-
These are people that have seen some shit out in the Ghostland.
and they're just so traumatized. They're like, "Do you mind if I put some plaster on you, make you a mannequin?"
then-
I
Yes,
just want to
he-
go away now.
Then he makes them dolls. So there's pieces of mannequin like kind of collaged over them, and he like 3 or 4 people in, he finds fucking Bernice, like immediately,
Yeah.
and she's nonverbal, and he's like, oh well, fucking. That's it. We're going. So he puts her on a fucking cart and just starts
he doesn't-
wheeling around a town. It's
He
like,
doesn't
fuck you
take the
guys.
shit off her. He's just like, "Get in a car and I'll drag you to the fucking car."
Mission accomplished. Just fuck it.
And at this point, they're yelling at him like, "You can't fucking leave because you'll run into
Yeah, they're
the-
talking about like, oh,
the
whatever
demon."
happened
And there's a lot of
after-
emphasis on the demon, which I guess is the ghost samurais he ran into
I
earlier.
guess so, yeah.
Yeah, but like it's obvious that it's based around like a prophecy that they can't leave, but they never bothered explaining that there was a prophecy.
Yeah, there's
All
kind-
they know is that like after you get to a certain point, some people saw some flash and shit.
And they said, "I
there's
guess
an
we should stay
exposition
here."
dump later that will kind of explain it, but
Kind of, yes,
Kind
very
of.
much
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of is optimistic on that one.
so on his way out of town, he rolls into like the area with all like the weird scavenger dudes that have these fucking crazy ass blinged out carnival trucks.
Oh yeah, that's
are
nice.
like-
Yeah, everything is all
They
beat
were
up,
cool
beat
as
to
shit.
shit. But those trucks were like fucking
And
primed
I
up.
want to say those trucks were also in Tokyo Tribe.
Probably so. Yeah.
Like they're fucking I don't know what subculture.
you
of
talking about
we-
Ratman's crew, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Whatever
was absolutely
subculture in Japan that makes those, like they obviously got them and they were just happy to have them in a movie.
That was absolutely the part of that town where I would have been spending all of my time.
Yep.
Oh, dude, yeah, no doubt. That would have been your crew. I'd been like, I'm building this shit. So yeah, he passes through there. He steals a gas can to go fill up the old Celica. And as he's doing that,
Oh man.
then we run into like he fills up the Celica, and then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna get all this mannequin shit off you." So he starts taking pieces off of Bernice, right?
Well, this is where it gets a little weird because he starts saying, "Take it off,
Take it off.
take it off,
Take it off.
take it off," and it gets a little fucking creepy. Take it
does.
off,
And then
Take
he
it
starts
off.
like he's freed her face. He starts pouring water in her mouth, in her open mouth. And he's just like, "Oh yeah."
and that's what happens.
Oh, shit.
He gets.
Eyes start getting
we're-
wide
We're
and
gonna
like,
throw this out there. I'm pretty sure he was getting turned on by the water dribbling out of her mouth. And that's when we start hearing the beeping going on
And
in
he
the
looks
crotchal
down
area.
in his crotch. and one of his balls blows up.
Yep, it explodes. And in case you're like, wait, was that near his balls?
No.
It's a ball because on the ground is Nick Cage's fucking testicle sitting right there.
Like, properly just cut off at the epididymis.
Blown straight
No.
out the sack, out his pants.
Nothing there except for the ball. There's a vast difference.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he picks it up, right?
He picks it up and looks at it and faints.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, come on. Who wouldn't? But yes, so now we understand. Okay, yeah, this suit works.
Don't dribble water around him because he'll lose his other testicle. Yes, we know that. Okay.
Oh goddamn!
Watch how you're drinking.
So we instantly go back into a dream sequence again, more Dreamtown shit, and this is where we get like the full.
This is the big
memory
robbery
of the bank robbery.
Okay.
So we get flashback to the bank where the psycho and him were doing the thing, and then
Dumbass
his
kid.
accomplice, Psycho, basically goes Mr. Blonde on the bank.
Well, he's about to. He looks like he's about to start, and then the kid comes up with the bubble gum.
Yeah.
And then he points a gun, and that's when our Nick Cage is like, "Are you fucking stupid?
Are you crazy? Don't
and
kill
then
kid.
and then pretty much knocks him over, and that's when he goes Mr. Blonde. It's like, all right, a bullet for everybody. Like, I'm gonna start taking out motherfuckers. Mr. Red, you're getting shot. Mr. All Green, you're getting shot. Just pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, he kills the guards. He starts shooting motherfuckers around there. They have a big fight, and they end up getting like Cage and Psycho bust out the front door like out of a saloon style.
Seriously.
Into the fucking street where there's all kinds of onlookers and stuff, and
about, I don't know what, 20 fucking cops
yeah, 20
rolled
cops
up in there.
show up. They got guns trained.
These cops are just going to wait outside while everyone's getting slaughtered inside.
Pretty much.
It's like, they got
That seems like
guns.
that seems
we
like a
got
plan.
some katanas.
And apparently, even though he's part of the crew, the guy with the gun is the bad one. The other guy, well, he doesn't have a gun, so pretty much...
He puts his hands in the air like,
yeah,
I'm done.
But Psycho's like,
I
can take
no.
him. There's only 20 of them. I got a gun.
So he starts shooting at the cops. Cops shoot him a couple times. In the exchange, a few bystanders get hit in the crowd.
What are you talking about? As Nick Cage turns around, just starts running, and the cops, not acknowledging bystanders like in front of him, just start shooting at him, and
Yes.
not hitting Nick Cage, mind you, but hitting everybody else.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure, like, looking at that closely in that slow-mo, like, half of the cops were sitting there just completely closing their eyes and just
Yes.
blind
'Cause
firing
they're
into the crowd.
not hitting Nick Cage at all. But if you were anywhere near Nick Cage, you're fucking dead.
If you're on that half of the square, you are fucked.
Yeah.
So they absolutely take out a mother and shoot her daughter in the leg, which we saw a little like
When he's unwrapping.
scar
Yeah.
on Bernice. Ends up being Bernice. Connection.
Aha.
So
Mom's fucking dead. And we find out.
Mom's dead. So that's his realization dream sequence. He wakes up and somehow fucking stands up minus a ball. Which I
Oh, yeah,
don't-
he's recovered by that now.
I don't know how the
Yeah.
fuck I wouldn't.
Not bleeding out at all, just like,
No,
Well, the
no.
leather suit just seals it in. I
guess so.
think. I don't know.
Self-sealing.
barely limping walking.
So yeah, he stands up minus a ball, and then almost immediately, Psycho and his fucking samurai chain gang crew of like weird zombie prisoners shows up and kind of attacks, but it's not like a full attack.
What's weird because some of them seem to be zombie-like,
Yes,
and
like-
other ones are just dudes that are just running up on them. There's no like, yeah, these guys, this part of our crew, they think they're zombies. We don't, but we just let them in there.
there's kind of an exchange, but then it ends. And
It just was kind of confusing because like, but they start going, and that's where I guess the aggression part of Nick Cage comes out that he's not allowed to have, like,
right.
because he's fighting them off, and then you hear beeping, and I guess he utilizes it to help him in the situation with being attacked, but I guess he also
Yes.
sets off a bomb
Yes,
on his arm.
his arm, his right arm, that one goes off. So it fucks up his like elbow, like, and his arm's just dead now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you can see just chunks out of his fucking arm. But he did take out some motherfuckers with that. So
Yes,
at least
he did.
Yeah,
that-
like 8. Takes out 8 people in like the top part of his arm.
No.
But, you know, they leave. And then, you know, he's injured again. So I think Bernice ends up bringing him back to the town.
Yeah, they
And
come
this-
back to town, and that's where, or the wasteland town.
Yes.
And that's where then it's like, all right, we got to get together, and then you have to like, let's all work together to make it back to Samurai Town. We got to
Yes.
defeat the demons, which is
This
the
is
gang.
where we get the exposition dump of why they are where they are.
Yeah.
Because there was it was the story of the Mile 244 disaster, where basically like all these nuclear power plants that were like all fucked up and bad for their, you know, nature, I guess, where, you know, one truck with all this like fucking like nuclear waste drove into a truck of
Convicts.
a bus of convicts.
Yep.
And exploded
Pretty much like the scene from Fast and Furious, except nuclear
and
waste.
gave
in the
them
middle.
all scalding atomic disease,
Yep.
is what they said.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And-
While this is being told by like a full choreographed crew of 10 or 12 interpretive dance
Yes.
Yes,
children.
and they have like
It's
drawn
a lot.
art that is displaying it. So it's like this. We will tell you the tale of the convicts in the nuclear
Yes.
waste.
But they're like answering people's questions
Yeah.
like in unison as well.
It is very well produced local theater,
Yeah.
honestly.
They've had some time. Yeah.
And in the meantime, Bernice has gotten her voice back. And
Oh, she had
disarms,
to. She
and
had to,
disarms his 3-day head popping thing. So he gets a couple extra days on his explosive.
Which again is craziness to them because when she comes back, those mannequins they never fucking talk. She's not supposed to talk
They're
anymore.
like, how did you find your voice? Like, it's in my throat.
Yeah, I figured out where it was.
So after that weird ass scenario, we have a short sequence back in Samurai Town with the governor where he is trying to like rally everybody and like be the man. He's like, bring me America, make it rain, and he's like throwing around dollar bills and shit.
It's really bizarre because obviously he's like, come on, let's make this America. Like he's like,
Suddenly Samurai Town turns into like the strip club
Yeah.
on its worst night in the middle of like Tallahassee.
He's like a
Yeah.
Texas like oil tycoon that is just run into this Japanese town. It's like, come on, bitches, let's get to go. Let's
this
get it
is
going
my
on.
place now.
Yeah. And there's one she sasses him. You can't sass him. There's a few things you can do, but you don't sass.
That's right.
And he wants to make a lesson out of the sassing.
Right. Well, this was also the one that was instrumental maybe in springing or getting Bernice out of town. So he has, of course, his right hand. Goddamn. Yasujiro. Keep having to look at it.
I just want to call him badass motherfucker. I don't know why we had to give him that name.
Bam.
Well, that's his name. But yeah, no, he has him fucking like do the whole like samurai head choppy deal, and it's very dramatic.
Very dramatic.
It's a
you
nice
don't. I don't think you actually see the head. There's what's on her, like the flower or
He
something.
places a rose,
Yeah.
like
Which
like
is kinda
in her
cool.
kimono by her neck, and then of course the rose comes off.
What bothered me about that scene was like the other guy that was sitting there like holding her in place, like never moved his hand from her shoulder.
So you wanna
And
see
it's
some
like,
fingers,
man? Like,
Yeah.
You better be good with that blade.
positioning, like you got some trust in Yasujiro's skills on that.
Goddamn right.
Otherwise, like,
All right, so then
But it's just set up that if you question the governor, you say anything, you done anything wrong to him in any way, he's going to make an example out of you in front of everybody else with this right hand man.
now I do think it's important to note that that is one of the people that helped his granddaughter escape.
Okay.
yes, exactly.
It wasn't just a matter of assassin.
Right.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying
It
there was
was-
that on top of it, but she's also, he does not like to look foolish in front of him. So on top of everything
Right.
else, she's also kind of like making
Yeah.
him look like a fucking dickhead. So
Oh yeah, no,
Right.
no. She was made an example of. Exactly. All right, so then we cut back to Cage, who's awake and he's pumped up now. He's back in the town. He's had like dreams where he is now on a redemption path. You know, he was allowed to be brought back to life or some bullshit like that. And he's just like, holy shit, I'm radioactive. And he is like, he's trying to like rally the whole town.
Oh,
you don't have to
this
be.
the speech?
This is it. you
Oh
know?
man, that's
He-
speech where he's just like, my fucking arm. And then he goes
Yes.
full Cage.
Yes.
And he goes, my fucking testicle's gone. Like, and the cageness that we were waiting for. Yeah.
We're all going home or whatever. You know, it's like, holy shit. Okay. This is way off any rails that it could have been on.
But it's just great because he's standing up there hovering over everybody as he's doing this speech. And
Like he calls attention to himself from the whole town.
Yeah.
None of that needed to happen.
yeah.
But he fires the people up like fucking.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. We can beat the weird nuclear samurai gang.
Yeah.
Like,
The weird nuclear samurai curse. Like, we can do this.
we can do this. Like, let's not look. I'm missing a fucking ball, and I want to do this. Like, believe in me.
He's bravehearting the fuck out
Yeah,
of
he
those
is.
people. You know, he's just like, come on.
Look at my ball.
So then we cut back to Yasujiro, badass motherfucker, and he's walking the streets of fucking Governor's samurai town. Now, I think this is only what I think could possibly be happening, is that there are roving crews of samurai dudes that really don't like the fact that they're letting out like convicts and shit, and they just have a bone to pick. And maybe some of the deputies feel the same way because motherfuckers keep trying to like screw with him, and he just offs every motherfucker.
Oh, dude, there's one scene where he grabs the dude, and he has him next to one of those lanterns.
Paper lantern.
Paper lanterns. Takes the blade, pops it, and you see the blood splatter in the paper lantern. That was fucking awesome.
Knew you were
That
gonna,
was solid.
You were gonna
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yep.
That was the best kill in the movie.
Yeah, it was.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was so fucking awesome. Yes, exactly. I had that written down too. Yeah. And
And we get a little bit of an explanation as to why this dude is the henchman for the governor, which is his fucking sister, right?
right, exactly.
His sister's like, you're just doing this so I'll get out or whatever, like, which I'll be honest is cool, but like I don't know if we really needed it. It's just kind of like it's like a redemption thing for him, just so you know. Like, yeah, I know you can kind of tell he was a little bit kind of guarded, and he doesn't seem like the kind of fucking prick that would work for the governor. But here you go, so you know he's actually not that bad a guy.
So I'm going to interject here. That was one of the main scenes of this that, like, watching through the first time without understanding what was being said, I was like, some other shit's going on here. And, like, my mind was like, is this going to a power play, or is this just, like, fucking guilt tripping, or does he have, like, a moral standing? And then it just became like, oh, no, this is still completely selfish reasons. He just hates everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. Like, it would have been so much better. And, like, when I was thinking, like, is he thinking that, like, he might just be, the town might be better off if, like, he's in charge and, like,
Yeah.
second guessing the governor?
Yeah.
And, like,
No.
no,
No.
just, like, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like,
They were being assholes.
they were being assholes, and I take care of assholes.
Yeah.
God damn it.
All right.
So,
this
all
is
right.
when we get back to Cage and his crew, right?
Yes.
They're all set up, the army of
Yes.
everybody.
And they're fucking like, they're like fixing all the cars in town, and they're
Yeah, that's
getting,
what I'm saying. You
they're
have that
getting
kind
all
of
those
build up like montage, like let's get everything ready.
It's
we're
like a
gonna
montage.
we're gonna power through this fucking
getting those pimped out
evil
trucks
demon.
going, which I wish we had
Oh.
a scene where the trucks actually
Yeah.
rolled, man.
God, yeah.
But I will say this is where this movie definitely goes off the norm because you get the build up and then you get the confrontation and the fucking demon gang fucking rolls up there
Yes.
and you're like, here we go, Ghost Samurais versus these people, the rat crew and everybody else, and then
and the result is, like, Psycho?
yeah, literally Cage
Like,
stops and goes,
buddy?
hey buddy, and like walks up and you're like, wait, you guys are supposed to like throw down.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's like, oh shit.
They've just been killing people for the last, like, whatever, 15, 20 years that this has been going on, and the
Yeah.
solution is like, buddy, hi.
And then, here's the thing, is you literally go, wait, but didn't he like run off right when they were about to get caught by the cops with Psycho? And Psycho, so you're like, this probably isn't gonna go well. But then Psycho's like, don't forget about that. I got nuclear waste on me now. I mean, that sucks ass.
Right,
Like,
no, he did flat out say, like, you know what sucks? Having your friend bail on you.
yeah.
But you know who the bad guy is? The governor.
Yeah.
He's like,
Right.
he doesn't even know who the governor is.
Yeah.
He gives and like Cage gives him a little bit of shit like, well, that was some fucked up shit, man. But like you were always so much fun when you had a couple shots of whiskey.
in you.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's such a weird thing because you're waiting for shit to go down, and they're just kind of like, man, I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, you look weird with all your skin melting off and shit.
And they're like, yeah, my right ear's kind of funky now.
so they basically
fucking
just
weird.
You expect this big showdown. They just end up making a side deal where it's just like Psycho's like, hey, we'll let you guys go past whatever. You just have to kill the governor.
Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you for something because
Yes.
I
There was
don't
no
know
reason for it.
I don't know the significance of it, but they come to that agreement. And then the weird ghost samurai demon gang goes, check this shit out, and makes a mushroom cloud explosion.
No. Once Psycho said, like, as long as you kill the governor, we'll let you pass, he raises his hands and just triggers a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
So they could have just triggered nukes at any point in time.
What is that? Please help me out, man. All right. I was kind of hoping if anybody could be like, well, what you missed or you might not have heard. Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
No, this is like trying
There's
to.
no reason for the mushroom cloud explosion.
There was no reason for it other than him being like, you know what, we're going to disappear. And instead of it just being a flashing light this time,
Can you
it was
explain?
like,
Can you explain the weird ass bitch in Eraserhead with the fucking crazy cheeks?
All right, well,
singing the song.
then
exactly,
I
it's
feel
some
better,
shit like that.
I feel better
God, I get a
knowing.
migraine every time I watch that movie, and I like it.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's meant to be
I
that
just
way.
feel better that I know that all three of us are on the same page.
With
And have
the,
no
like-
fucking clue what the
No,
mushroom cloud's about.
that was absolutely insane.
But now we get it. Now it's
Yeah.
it's on to the fucking governor.
So yeah, the governor is reveling in his fucking town. He's like, "Welcome to my animal farm. Long live the animal farm." He's just chewing the goddamn scenery.
Yeah, he is. Bill Mosley had, I think, the most fun in the of everybody in this movie. He was anytime. Can I just be as ridiculous and like again a Texas oil tycoon? Like I'm just fucking crazy. Like
And just see if I can get 20 other people to start chanting the same shit I say
Yeah.
behind me like cheerleaders. All right.
And fucking Cage shows up with Bernice, and he's got a football helmet on now,
yes, he does.
and he's got like a big ass like arm thing.
Can I say at this point I lost my shit because they were all talking in the middle of town square then, and someone's like, "Oh shit, look!" Like they just like saw something on the horizon. They're like 20 feet away.
Yeah,
It was almost
in the
like,
middle of the street.
It almost
like
turned into the scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where they see the guy from far away, and they see he's there, and he stabs him because they're like, "Who is that?" And then Nick Cage is like right in front of him.
yeah. They're all
Right
talking
there.
like, "Oh, he's not gonna make it." Oh, damn!
Yeah.
There you are. And of course, the governor rolls up, and he's like, "Oh, my Bernice, my Bernice." And Cage is like, "Give me the fucking key, right goddamn
Right fucking now.
right now." And he's like, no."
No, you degenerate pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, there you go. So he's not holding, governor's not holding up his end of the bargain. And then, oh, surprise, the fucking sister is on a minigun.
Yes, yeah. 'Cause
I'm like,
I forgot
what?
about that. Well, literally, there's all right. So Cage is there, and they're surrounded by a lot of Western motherfuckers with
Yeah,
guns.
all the deputies.
and then behind them some samurais
Samurai.
as the town sets up.
Yeah.
and then just this Gatling gun, unattended,
Ju-
right in
just
front
that-
of them.
That's just sitting there.
just sitting there, loaded, ready to go. Directly, if you say someone were to jump on there, quick access to just
It's
mow
not
down
pointed at
everybody.
the gate. It's pointed at the town square.
Yeah.
But I
Very
will,
disorganized with how they're placing the Gatling gun. All right.
I will at least say, like, earlier in the movie when she started acting like she was a little bit nuts, everyone's response was like, "Here, play with this robot," and her response was like to grab the robot's arm guns and be like, "Gah, gah, 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 gah,
And which
gah,
I
gah,
think
gah,
right
gah,
before this town scene, yeah, you get a quick preview, and she's like beep boop beep boop beep boop.
gah, 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 gah,
But-
gah, gah."
Yeah, so
Yeah.
again, don't load up the gun, have it pointed at pretty much most of your army, and then let the crazy girl anywhere near it because she's not even on Team Cage. She's on Team I'm fucking crazy, and jumps in
Yes.
there and just mows down what like 40 motherfuckers.
So this is
Or,
more
or,
for
or
net-
at least, you know, if you have armed weapons ready and soldiers, Have someone at the damn post.
This, by the way,
True.
This goes back to a movie we covered not that long ago, Rambo 4, in which the whole setup of Rambo 4's final battle sequences is we have one of these badass 50 cal guns, but we got two incompetent motherfuckers guarding it at the top of the hill, in which then Rambo fucking shows up, kills those guys, and then uses their own weapon to mow down most of their army. Same shit happens here, except we didn't get a neck pull, a throat slash. So
True.
But besides that, again, just take Rambo out, put in Crazy Lady that makes robot sounds. Same thing.
So we get the most frenetic sort of like end sequence situation. So Sister jumps on the minigun, mows down some of the dudes. Cage is fighting deputies, Western style, where he's got a 6-gun. He's shooting at him like fucking like left and right.
It goes back and forth between
Bernice,
fighting the Western guys, fighting the samurais, in different styles.
Bernice rolls out. She, like, the sister gets shot a couple times. She's trying to take her away. She ends up with a fucking samurai sword at one point. Elling up motherfuckers.
She kind of had some skills. I was kind of shocked with that.
Badass motherfucker Yasujiro. Like, you think they're gonna square up, him and Bernice? No, he walks past her and fucks up a bunch of other samurai. Cage is doing just fine.
That throat slice from Bernice, where the blood was like spurting from the lower abdomen.
Yes. Yeah. It was like, oh, make it look like it. No.
Like we gave up.
So yeah, kill samurai, and then of course
we get the cage reveal.
The cage reveal where like someone's pulling on his hand.
He stabs somebody and his hand's stuck in the guy.
Yeah.
Or at least what we thought was his hand, and then he pulls out,
and he's got a fucking samurai sword.
Yeah.
The
best way to describe it is like if anybody's watched Walking Dead, what fucking like Daryl's brother that I can't remember, but he had the knife hand It's pretty much that, but it's not even a knife. It's more of a sword.
Yeah, it's like an oversized push knife on a gauntlet.
Yeah. And then, of course, we get, it had to happen. Cage versus badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Samurai.
Holy shit.
Versus 7 other samurai at the same time.
Yeah.
Which...
That they're both fighting while fighting each other.
Exactly. And badass motherfucker stops trying to kill Cage and kills all the other guys.
Almost as if, like, fuck these guys anyway, because, like, I'm not technically a bad guy. But also, I can't deal with you other motherfuckers. I need to be one-on-one, right? And then, okay, so they take him out. Holy shit.
This is leading to the single best line of the movie.
Yes.
You're talking about when it's one-on-one, and they're back and forth as you would have. Cage has his sword arm. Dude has his sword.
They're fighting.
Back and forth. It goes back.
Cage punches him a few times, and
then kick to the crotch.
The ball kick.
Retaliated with a punch to the crotch.
Yeah. And
Cage, they're
both
looking at
just
each other.
kind of trying to catch their breath, and both looking at each other in the eye of be like, who's gonna move next? And just like, and just a slow like realization of both of them. Just be like, hold up, I need a second.
Yeah. And Cage screams out. Yeah. Like screams out, oh wait, you punched me in the fucking other ball. Fuck. And they both take a good 30-second ball reaction is the best way I can put it. Where they both go, wait, we got to hit the balls. We don't need to fight for 30 seconds.
Time out,
Time
guys.
out. Yeah.
Time out. Meanwhile, we got a quick shot of the fucking governor rolling past his crib, and all the geishas have robbed his ass and are humiliating him.
And they're not like robbing him; they're making fun of him. They're like, "You fucking suck, asshole!"
Like you told us you were gonna have a statue,
and
you're not shit.
Yeah. And the funny thing is up to this point, the governor's like, "You fuck with me, I will fucking destroy you." And he comes in, he's like, "Come on, what's going on? Come on!" Like, and he like his true colors are showing up. He's this little bitch that can't. If he doesn't have henchmen, like he'll get robbed. They'll talk shit, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Yep. And then we get the like the House of Blue Leaves duel. That's all pretty, where it's got now Cage and badass motherfucker have like composed themselves, and they're standing.
They do the eye stare, and you think for a second, because Cage puts down like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna fight you, man. And dude puts his sword achieved, and then they're just staring
and
at
they're
each other.
just staring, like they're a few feet apart, and you've got like little snow coming by. And I swear to God, in my brain, I just heard like that sound from Kill Bill.
The water, yeah.
Doop, doop, doop,
Yeah, I know.
doop, doop. And
But there's almost the hint of like maybe we should just go after the governor because that guy sucks.
It's what I thought was going to happen. I will
Honestly,
say
yeah.
the direction this movie takes a couple of things, and you go, okay, it's probably going to happen. And it goes, no, we're not going to do that.
that's
And,
an honor thing.
yeah.
You know.
But they both put their swords away, and then immediately go, nah, fuck it, let's go to the death, and go pull the swords out, and then start going at it. And Cage does some quick dodge movement, and then
Which, man, if I could ever pull that off while actively missing a testicle freshly.
Exactly.
Like, it was a straight, like, superhero, like, knee slide with one leg back. It was like,
Yeah, that was something. It was pretty unbelievable. But you know what? He did win. He bested the badass motherfucker.
yeah. And you kind of feel bad, but yeah, I mean, you
So
lost your
good.
battle, dude.
But then we get the and the next sequence where Bernice, you know, who has been trying to like take care of the sister, whatever, rolls up on the governor, and she's got a gun on him.
Well, then we realized
And then you get
The
sort of
relationship.
the context.
Yep.
Okay. So in the dream sequences, her mother was shot. She's shot in the leg, and there's a guy. There's a hand that comes down, the gloved hand that like pats her on the head.
that
to
dude
take-
took no time.
to take care of
Literally,
her.
we realized the governor isn't like, comes across her years later. She's on the street. She lost her mother. Literally, mom dead on the street goes, you're with me now. Like, we're talking about, what, 5 minutes after
Yes,
mom's dead?
exactly.
like, they didn't even see if they could
If
save
that.
mom. Just like,
He's just like, your mom looks like she's dead. You're going to be my sex slave, right? I mean, like, that kind of shit.
So that's the thing. Yeah, it's not that it's not that he was like,
I want to
took
take care of
pity
you.
or was a
He's
benefactor.
like,
I want you to take care of me.
yeah, I'm a creep.
He's a disgusting motherfucker.
Yeah.
And obviously that is completely apparent in this exchange where, he's basically pleading for his life or not pleading, but he's just like, yeah, you were never worthy, you slut, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Talking shit. And she's like, dude, I was going to already kill the fuck out of you.
Now I'm
You
really
just
going to do it.
You just want to add that shit because he's like, I was going to just shoot you once, but you had to talk. So now I'm just going
gonna work my way
shooting
up.
you. Yeah.
Yep.
To
so
the
she
vital
unloads
organs.
on him, kills his ass, dead.
Word
then-
travels fast after this point.
Indeed, because
The
now
Insanely
Fastest-
fast. The fastest motherfucker this side of the Flash.
Long-haired Flash kid who
Yes.
he has 3 jobs, which is scream, run fast,
who had no reason being in Samurai Town in the first
Yeah.
place because before he was still back with Ratman, which was a day's travel by car.
it was, but kid's fast. So literally,
Kid
governor
sees that.
falls down. The next sequence is
the kid
is
running.
The governor's dead,
kid
governor's
running,
dead.
just announcing governor's dead to everybody, and you're like, wait, was this a car drive way from? No, don't worry about it. Kid is fast
The
as shit.
town rejoices.
Kid's not even out of breath yet. It's like the next block up now.
Yeah, they're all celebrating, and they make the decision. All right, time can go on, and they let go.
You know what? You know what we should do now that the governor's dead? Blow up our home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but the whole thing is they go, all right, this ridiculous thing of us holding the one hand of the clock not moving, we can do it now, Governor.
Let it go.
And again, did I miss something earlier in the movie that explained that the governor had put them in this situation?
No.
Anything of the sort?
No, this is just some weird religious bullshit that they came up with.
That just the governor's dead, so it's a good
guess.
sign.
I guess,
of
but the
time
governor's dead
can-
means they can change their lives and their prophecy is different. I
Well,
have
like,
fucking no idea.
I was gonna say,
Like,
come on, it's interpretational shit,
Well,
man.
earlier in it, like it was still like kind of unclear to me of like if this was supposed to be set in like just this area that got contaminated by the fucking nuclear waste was like the wasteland, and then everything else outside of that area was still safe, and
Yeah.
like that was just being stuck there. But
Yeah, no,
it made no sense. But they were just like, fucking, now we can just let time go on and
these
blow
guys
everything
have
up.
been for who knows the length of time that they have been like with the rope holding that fucking clock from continuing.
Because no
For
one fucking
years.
put an anchor
And
down.
then they're heard by Little Flash that
Or,
the
like-
fucking the governor's dead. And they're like, all right, well, it worked. We did it. We can let time start it up again.
we
Fuck.
can go.
no,
Okay.
No one thought about like taking apart the bomb.
Nobody went behind it and went.
In the
"There should
years,
be a
no
way."
one was like, shit, you know what we should do? Like, I don't know, pull the power supply on the clock.
Yeah. But apparently the clock, all it takes is to get through 1 full minute, and then it just fucking explodes.
And they're all like,
To-
fuck, we have 15 seconds at any point in time. Like, dude, unscrew the gear.
But they're all celebrated the clock
Right.
blowing up
Yes.
to represent
The town square
A good-
explodes.
a good
The clock
Which
falls
was
down.
also where they were all sleeping and living.
yes.
And in case you were worried about Nick Cage's other ball, by the way, Bernice does grab the key to comes back to it
Yes.
to unlock the
He
suit.
does get the key. Yeah.
She did not. Her sister
that's
had
right.
snagged it off of the governor and then dropped it in the middle of town square
Right.
in the bloodbath. And he just happened to like wander up to it and be like, here's what it is.
Oh, good. My ball,
Conk.
my other ball.
My other ball is safe.
Yeah.
He has a parting line as they are walking through town in the finale where he says, "This samurai town is going to be beautiful one day."
Yeah, as he's sitting there like with his whole arm and hand wrapped up, when he had the goddamn sword on there, it was literally like attached through multiple fingers, just like screwed in.
Yep.
Through the bones with like not even Phillips head, like straight head machinist screws straight in the thing. It's like, if you're planning on saving the goddamn hand, you could have just like duct taped it. Nope, we're going straight through the bone with machinist screws.
Oh, man.
So
Taped it
yeah, everyone, that was Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Holy shit.
That
I
fucking
Still, even
had
after
to get the screws in
watching
there.
it and talking about it, there are parts of this movie I still don't fucking
Oh
understand.
no,
man.
no. This is an experience that is endlessly rewatchable because you'll still never fucking understand half the shit in the movie.
Yeah.
I can watch this 5 more times and I'll be like, I don't know. Nothing makes sense. But
Oh, man.
That's not even going deep into any of the like fugue state dream sequences that he had where he was just
Oh,
having
man.
conversations with like the entire interpretive dance collective at once.
And this
left
is one
and
of those
right.
movies I don't know if I would suggest you should watch it on drugs or stay away from this movie on drugs because who
So-
fucking knows?
I watched it drunk once and stoned once.
Okay.
there you go.
But I'm saying,
mean,
would
that's
you watch this
probably-
movie on shrooms? Because I don't know. There's parts you're like, wow, that could look really fucking crazy.
No.
But there's other parts you're like, I think I'm losing my fucking mind right now. So I don't know, man.
I can tell you I will not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
And here's the part where I will admit that I will never be as good of a guest as Murph because I did not research the background of this story. It could have been a manga. Who knows, man?
who knows? I don't think it was though, but it might
have
have been.
no idea.
Yeah. All right,
But-
so this is where we get to double featuring it.
Yes. So, yes, we want to figure out if we were going to show this movie with another movie, what would it be? You want to go first?
Oh yeah, I got one that fits this.
Get it.
Let's take one genre and throw it right all its fucking head and go to a movie where one genre, but then it turns into a whole other one. The good, the bad, and the weird. I don't know if you've seen this.
Good, the bad, and the weird.
Yes, it is a kung fu western, but don't fucking bring up some goddamn Shanghai Nights bullshit or Shanghai Noon. This is an actual good movie where it's a western, but it's fucking samurais. Everybody's still in western gear, but
Okay.
it's like pretty much just kung fu fighting, but in the West. So
I remember like there was a Takashi Miike movie called like Sukiyaki Western Django, but I have not seen what you just talked about, and I want to.
yeah, it's worth checking out. It's fucking bonkers.
All right, I will put mine out there, and you hit the nail on the head early in the episode where you were just like, this is like some Terry Gilliam shit.
Yeah.
Because the very first thing I thought of was Time Bandits.
I mean, it can be time. You can throw any Terry. I mean,
Because
you
Time
can do Baron
Bandits,
Munchausen. I mean,
it
any of his
goes
movies
from
with this.
genre to world to like, they're in the fantasy world. They're in ancient Greece. It's like they're in the fucking.
That's a good one.
There's a
Yeah.
goddamn like laser like starfighter situation in a fucking magic evil castle scenario. Like it's so goddamn bananas where it goes. There's Robin Hood situation like everywhere.
Oh no, it's all over the place. So
So following that movie and following this movie, just in my brain, we're just like, oh, that makes sense.
yeah. So do you have anything you could think of if you were to double feature this?
If I double featured it, I'd go for Death Race.
There you go.
Like the
yeah,
original
dude.
one, and just make that whole shitty stretch just be one part of the whole
I love
freaking
it.
track, just
Fuck
so it's
yeah.
like going through like, okay, now we end up having to like cut through the streets in Samurai Town as like all the
Yep.
crazy crap's going on there.
dude.
You got the giant stretch that you could do with the ghost buses and explosions going left and right, straight into a bandit town.
Motherfucking.
That's where I would go with that.
I got
Death
one
Race
more I want to throw out
2000,
there.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Return to Oz. I don't know if either of y'all watched that.
Shit,
but
yes.
that movie still, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Half this kid's movie, mind you. That
I still want to make a Wheeler suit.
yeah, but that
Believe I will one day.
I almost had the same feelings from watching this movie as when I was a child watching Return to Oz for the first time. Where I was like, I feel like I should know what's going on, but the beats are
tick
all
tock,
the fuck
tick
all
tock.
like yeah. So I would always throw that out there as a weird kind of throw out there.
My very
double
first
feature.
inclination, which ended up being like a runner-up in case somebody had already mentioned Time Bandits, was Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah,
Just because it goes like all over the damn place,
Yeah.
you know. But no, I these are great fucking double feature recommendations. I love these. They're
Also,
fucking
I would
awesome.
love to see Ash versus Hero.
that would
my
be
God.
awesome.
Dude.
And that's after yeah. So chainsaw hand versus sword hand. Yeah.
Go full blown, beat it like tape the left hands
Now,
together.
let's just imagine a world where Hero leaves whatever weird ass mythical realm they were in,
Yeah.
goes back to the States, is driving a big fucking like, you know, modern sports, you know, American muscle car, and ends up at a restaurant with a flat tire. Could he be in the future, later in life, the Willy's Wonderland character?
No shit. There is a possibility.
Because he didn't have many lines in this. He did say some shit, but he definitely
Yeah.
didn't say shit in that movie. But anyway, we got to wrap this motherfucker up.
Oh yeah, we got into some heavy detail. I think some of it was just asking each other. Do
Like,
you know what this said?
did you understand what the
Yeah.
fuck happened here?
Yeah.
'Cause
There was I think some assistance asked it from the other panelists. So
There was a lot to go through
Yeah.
here. I have no idea how long we've gone. We're over an hour now.
oh yeah, yeah.
All right. So all right, you want to talk about the sponsors a little bit?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's do it.
Shit, you can go to GUIPodcast.com. Little links up there. There's a nice little link for Amazon. Click on that link. Go shop like you usually do. But shit, helps us out a little bit. Get a little fundage, equipment, I don't know, sometimes alcohol, things of that sort. But just help out the podcast.
Fuck yeah.
You know, again, you're gonna go on Amazon anyway. Might as well fucking just go through our website, click on the link.
True.
So, and then we got some merch, right?
Yeah, we do.
Oh shit! How do you get to how do you
I
get the
think
merch?
we have a new design up, unless Hobbit has been dropping the damn ball. 'Cause I sent it to
this is
him
our talk shit
weeks
about
and
Hobbit
weeks
part
ago.
of the show. So, but yeah, no, but T-Public links up there. That
Yeah.
same website I just told you about. So, I mean, and there is for all the GUI shows, including ours,
Yep.
another great one from the Mouths of Madness. Great shows like that. There's I don't know what fucking like 30 different designs from
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
podcasts. Not just shirts. You can get them on fucking anything. Banners.
Damn right.
Except for koozies. I like to remind Lowdown about that. No koozies. But besides that, a bunch of different shit. So,
Reach out to us directly as well, like Beautiful Disasters Podcast on Facebook. You can email us directly at beautifuldisasterspodcast@gmail.com. Send us fucking recommendations.
yeah.
We want to watch weird ass shit. That's what this whole fucking podcast is about. So like,
or just, comment on when we, post the episodes. Did you watch that? What did you
Right.
think of it? Like, did you think it was great? Did you think it was terrible or what? So,
and of course, go to GUIPodcast.com and check out all the other damn shows. And, support the network. We got a lot of cool shit going on. So, I do want a couple quick thanks. I want to thank Patrick DeRoche for fucking amazing music that we've been using the last couple months. We've used his songs Detox and Move On for the intro and outro. You can find all of his stuff on YouTube. And Nick, of course, you are very well.
I am well acquainted with
Yes.
Patrick. I've been playing with him for the last 19 years.
God damn.
Right?
Has it been that long? Because I've been seeing...
It has.
I've seen Synthetic Nightmare shows like 2 singers ago.
Yeah,
or something.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
I started playing with Patrick in 2003. We're still making music together now, and at this point, I probably have a backlog of, I'm estimating, I know the last time I actually compiled it, it was over 900 songs that we hadn't even touched yet, because he's just a machine, and he's just happy to see people using his stuff. He's got a Bandcamp up now.
He does have a Bandcamp.
He does have Bandcamp up
That's
now.
new. All right, I'll have to put a link to that.
Yeah. So you know how you said before, you knew that he put up a couple albums. This is a different one that he just put up a whole nother set of 12 to, because because he'll write an album a week, and he's just happy to see people using his stuff.
He is prolific, and he's one of my favorite quality weirdos.
Yes, he's an awesome dude, and I love working with him, and I love seeing it whenever anyone uses his music, because it by extension it's mine too, because everything that I do is with him.
Nice.
So I got to thank y'all for using that and giving him a little bit of publicity. He's one of my favorite people in the world. He's absolutely my favorite musician. I've been lucky enough that I've gotten to play with my favorite writer for the last 20 years.
Fuck yeah.
So
we love
thank
you,
you for that.
Yeah. And I hopefully we get to see you guys play live here sometime soon. We're in this time where the last pandemic situation has started to subside a little bit,
Things are starting to happen again. There's shows that are opening up. Yeah. It's getting a little safe again. So
I'm looking forward to hopefully sometime some synthetic here soon.
We're going to get to actually do a little bit of Ash and Ember this week live. So
ooh, nice.
That's going to be fun. That's me and Patrick's newer project that Will from Synthetic is also in on that. So
fuck yes.
That's going to be fun. We get to play out a little bit for the first time this week. So
kick ass.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, it does. So
all right, Nick, thank you so much for being on the episode.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
And thank you for listening to all of you guys. I've been the Grutz.
Happy honor.
Take care.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm F.U. Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're going to fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
embrace the madness.
In a world with too many reboots and remakes,
two men will stop at nothing to make it even worse.
join like the Hobbit and Tandy as they play by their own rules while pitching new takes on some of your favorite and least favorite films and TV shows. What podcast would dare to bring this upon the world?
This is Smack My Pitch.
GUIPodcast.com.